When you have bad luck, use salt and vinegar. This way, if you want to change your luck. Buddhist Teachings. Sometimes a simple shift in our actions can lead to profound changes in our lives. Are you feeling weighed down by a streak of bad luck, wondering if there's any way to break free from this cycle? What if I told you that something as simple as salt and vinegar could be a tool to shift your fortune? Welcome to the Journey of Wisdom, where today we'll uncover ancient practices and insights that can help you redefine luck. In Buddhism, luck isn't a random force, but something deeply connected to our actions, intentions, and energy. So, is there a way to influence it? In this video, we'll dive into practical, easy-to-follow methods using salt and vinegar that can help shift the energy in your life, bringing clarity, harmony, and perhaps a renewed sense of fortune. Let's explore together how a mindful approach to everyday rituals can create space for positive change in our lives. Number 1. The power of perspective, shaping your own luck. Luck is not chance, it's toil. Fortune's expensive smile is earned, goes a saying by Emily Dickinson, reminding us that luck is often more about mindset than random fortune. For centuries, people have seen luck as a mysterious force, an invisible hand that seemingly picks some to succeed and leaves others to struggle. However, if we look deeper, we see that luck is far from arbitrary. It's a powerful energy we shape through our actions, mindset, and awareness. Consider this: if we continually think of ourselves as unlucky, we inadvertently set a foundation of helplessness, casting ourselves as passive bystanders in our own lives. This perspective, while comforting in its simplicity, ultimately limits us, preventing us from seeking opportunities and creating positive change. As Buddha once said, "What we think, we become." By adjusting our thoughts, we step into the role of an active participant in our lives, holding the power to shift our experiences. When we approach life with a mindset open to possibility, optimism, and resilience, we invite the type of luck that transforms challenges into opportunities. In this way, believing in our ability to grow and adapt isn't simply wishful thinking. It's a proven path to success and a well-known characteristic of resilient individuals. Successful people often attribute their achievements to a blend of preparation, persistence, and a positive outlook, rather than pure chance. As Confucius observed, success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Preparation, combined with a readiness to learn from setbacks, helps us stay open to the lessons hidden within adversity. Think of salt and vinegar, a seemingly simple combination. In Buddhist teachings, salt represents purification, while vinegar's sourness mirrors life's challenges. When used together in a mindful ritual, these elements cleanse and renew, symbolizing the transformation of negativity into growth. Such small acts of mindfulness can reshape how we approach difficult times, reminding us that our responses, more than external events, define our path. As we cultivate a broader perspective, we see that luck is more than fleeting moments of fortune. It's an ongoing journey that we shape through every choice and attitude. In the modern world, many of us feel the pressure of life's uncertainties, whether it's career setbacks, health challenges, or relationships that seem out of sync. But rather than seeing these obstacles as a curse, a shift in perspective allows us to view them as powerful teachers. By consciously setting intentions to embrace change, show kindness, and persevere through trials, we lay a foundation for growth, inching closer to the life we envision. To make this shift, try adopting a daily practice, be it a small ritual like using salt and vinegar as a mindful act of cleansing, or setting aside time to reflect on what is within your control. Small habits accumulate, leading to the kind of resilience that keeps us open to new doors, creating opportunities where others see only walls. In sum, shaping our luck is not about denying life's difficulties, but embracing them with strength and positivity. As the Dalai Lama teaches, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. The actions we take, however small, compound to shift our lives in meaningful ways. This awareness allows us to view our circumstances with gratitude and clarity, empowering us to break free from the chains of perceived bad luck. Embrace this moment, cultivate optimism, and trust in the transformative power of a shifted mindset. Through this lens, life unfolds as an open invitation to create our own luck, turning obstacles into stepping stones toward a fulfilling future. In the journey of wisdom, this perspective becomes our greatest ally, guiding us toward a life of peace, purpose, and profound self-discovery. Number 2. Clear away. Bad luck. The salt and vinegar ritual. When life feels heavy, try this salt and vinegar ritual to change your luck. Sometimes life gets tough, and it feels like bad luck follows us wherever we go. During these times, finding a way to reset our energy and bring a bit of positivity back into our lives can be incredibly powerful. One simple ritual, inspired by ancient practices, uses salt and vinegar to clear away negativity and welcome peace, harmony, and good fortune into your life. Here's how to perform this ritual in a mindful, heart-centered way. Step 1. Find your quiet, sacred space. To start this powerful ritual, find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted, a spot that feels safe and comforting, allowing you to immerse fully in this practice. You might light a candle to invite warmth and peace, play soft, soothing music, or take a few deep breaths to center yourself and release any tension. This moment is for you, a time to focus entirely on bringing balance and harmony into your life. In these precious minutes of preparation, set a clear intention in your heart and mind. Know that through this ritual, you are releasing the negative energy that has weighed you down and are welcoming in positivity, harmony, and blessings. With a pure, focused intention, the energy behind this ritual strengthens, allowing it to work even more effectively. Step 2. Gather simple, powerful ingredients. To carry out this ritual, all you need are 2 basic yet profoundly powerful items: sea salt and vinegar. These simple ingredients may seem ordinary, but each has deep symbolic and practical value. Across various cultures and traditions, salt is revered for its purifying qualities. It acts as a barrier against negativity and removes lingering energies that no longer serve us. Vinegar, with its sharp, refreshing acidity, is equally potent, representing the cleansing of both physical spaces and spiritual energies. When you combine these 2 humble ingredients, you create a potent solution capable of refreshing your surroundings and restoring balance to your inner world. Together, sea salt and vinegar work harmoniously, clearing away stagnant energy and inviting a renewed sense of peace and positivity. Step 3. Cleanse and clear with intention. To shift your luck and bring in positive energy, start by preparing a simple yet powerful mixture of salt, vinegar, and water. This solution isn't just for cleaning, it's a tool for clearing out any lingering negativity and refreshing your environment. As you wipe down surfaces or sprinkle the solution around, let your thoughts focus on what this represents. Imagine it as a gentle wave washing away heavy energies, any obstacles or challenges that have been blocking your path. Visualize each swipe or sprinkle as an invitation for a fresh start, one that welcomes light, peace, and balance into your life. If you wish to deepen this experience, consider adding elements that naturally calm and uplift you. Scents like lavender, sage, or frankincense bring in a peaceful atmosphere, helping you feel more relaxed and grounded. In addition, gentle sounds, whether from a singing bowl, soft chimes, or delicate bells, add a layer of tranquility, transforming your space into a sanctuary of healing and peace. These small additions can elevate the entire experience, making your space feel sacred and welcoming, allowing you to connect more deeply with yourself and the positive energy surrounding you. Are you ready to cleanse and clear away negativity to invite peace and balance into your space? Comment yes if you're excited to try this cleansing ritual, or comment 1 if you've already started your journey to shift your energy. Point 2.4. Step 4. Reflect, feel, and express gratitude. When the ritual is complete, take a few quiet moments to notice any changes. How does your space feel? Is there a sense of lightness, a feeling of calm? Take a deep breath and feel this new, cleansed energy around you. This is a good time to meditate, even if only briefly, on the sense of peace filling your surroundings. Express gratitude for this process and for what salt and vinegar, a pair of simple, everyday ingredients, have helped you release. This ritual is a way to honor the idea that we can cleanse and renew not only our space, but also our spirit. You are freeing yourself from burdens you no longer need to carry, making room for blessings, joy, and positive energy to flow into your life. Step 5. Embrace a positive mindset and keep moving forward. Now that you've completed the ritual, remember that you have taken an important step to reclaim your own energy and make room for positive change. Stay open to the possibility of new beginnings, knowing that you have the power to create the life you desire. By maintaining a positive mindset and holding on to this renewed sense of clarity, you are inviting even more good fortune into your life. This salt and vinegar ritual can be a transformative experience when done with intention and an open heart. Number 3. Claire's journey to rediscovering fortune. In a sunlit coastal town where the waves whispered against the shore, there lived a young woman named Claire. She worked in an old bookshop, surrounded by shelves packed with dusty volumes, each holding pieces of life's secrets. Known for her calm and thoughtful nature, Claire cherished her quiet moments. Yet, deep down, she felt a sadness that seemed inescapable, as if an unseen hand kept holding her back, obstructing her way forward. One evening, after closing up the shop, she encountered Mrs. Carter, a regular who often came by searching for old spiritual texts. Wise and gentle, Mrs. Carter was known to share insights that stayed with people long after they left her side. Sensing the weariness in Claire's expression, Mrs. Carter softly asked, "Do you believe in the power of intention and faith?" With a sigh, Claire replied, "I don't know, Mrs. Carter. I try so hard, but things never seem to go my way." Mrs. Carter offered a warm smile. Sometimes the first step to good fortune is the way we choose to see and respond to life. She handed Claire a small notebook, explaining a simple ritual using salt and vinegar meant to invite clarity and positivity. Curious, though slightly skeptical, Claire took the notebook home. Something about Mrs. Carter's words stirred a sense of possibility within her. That night, Claire gathered sea salt and vinegar, setting up a quiet, soothing space in her room. She dimmed the lights, lit a candle, and played calming music to still her mind. As she cleansed her room with the salt and vinegar solution, Claire closed her eyes, visualizing her sadness and frustrations melting away with each stroke. She repeated affirmations softly, saying, "Good things are coming to me. I deserve happiness and peace." When she finished, she felt a subtle yet profound shift, as if fresh energy had filled her space. Her room seemed brighter and more inviting, and the heaviness that had lingered for so long now felt distant. That night, she drifted into a deep, dreamless sleep, waking up the next morning with a sense of renewed purpose. With fresh resolve, Claire began making small yet significant changes in her life. She signed up for personal growth classes, sought out positive, like-minded friends, and gradually realized that her experiences were shaped not by fate alone, but by her own mindset and perspective. One afternoon, while reading in the park, Claire came across Mrs. Carter again. Smiling, Mrs. Carter said, "See? Life has a way of transforming when we transform ourselves. Fortune isn't random, it's shaped by what we believe and what we do." Claire returned her smile, feeling a deep sense of peace. She no longer feared misfortune, for she now understood that whatever life brought, she held the strength to shape her own path with resilience and purpose. Thank you for being with us in today's video. Before we dive deeper, I want to express my sincere gratitude to you. It's truly a joy to have you as part of our community. Feel free to share your thoughts, experiences, or simply leave a comment saying "New Beginnings" if you're just starting with us, or "Walking the Path" if you've been following our journey for some time. Your participation is not only appreciated, it inspires us deeply. Now, let's continue this journey toward inner balance and renewed luck together, shall we? Embracing adversity, Buddhist wisdom for difficult times. In life, hardship and adversity are unavoidable companions. Yet, as challenging as these experiences may be, they also offer us profound opportunities for growth and transformation. In Buddhism, we find teachings that show us how to navigate these storms with wisdom and grace, turning difficulties into a pathway to inner peace. Embracing adversity with an open heart and an awakened mind helps us cultivate resilience, compassion, and understanding, qualities that empower us to meet life's struggles with steadiness and courage. From recognizing the impermanence of all things to sowing good seeds, from learning self-compassion to letting go, Buddhist wisdom offers timeless guidance on facing adversity. Now, we'll explore these teachings, understanding that every challenge, big or small, can become a stepping stone toward greater self-discovery and fulfillment. When we approach hardship not as an enemy, but as a teacher, we unlock the potential to transform pain into peace and uncertainty into clarity. Let's embark on this journey of wisdom together, finding within ourselves the strength and insight to thrive, even in the face of life's toughest moments. 1. Accept and recognize impermanence. In the journey of life, embracing impermanence is one of the most profound realizations one can come to, especially when navigating challenging times. Just as the Buddha taught, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. This understanding that everything changes, that nothing is fixed or forever, can bring a deep sense of peace. Life is a continuous cycle of ups and downs. Joys and sorrows are as intertwined as day and night. When we accept this truth, we can face adversity with a calm heart, knowing that no situation, however painful or daunting, will last indefinitely. Difficulties will pass, just as happy times do, which teaches us to be fully present in both pain and joy. In learning to appreciate moments of happiness, we develop resilience, a reservoir of strength we can draw from during more turbulent times. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean we ignore or deny our pain. Instead, we understand it as part of a larger, ever-evolving picture of our lives. This viewpoint is especially relevant in today's fast-paced world, where changes can be swift and often unsettling. Relationships evolve, careers shift, and health can fluctuate. By embracing impermanence, we soften our attachment to rigid expectations and become more adaptable to life's flow. The famous Zen saying, "Let go or be dragged," reminds us that resistance to change often amplifies our suffering. Instead, we can strive to meet each day with open-mindedness, releasing the need to control outcomes and allowing life to unfold naturally. When we experience loss or hardship, we can think of it like the seasons. Winter may be cold and barren, yet it paves the way for spring's renewal. By recognizing that life is impermanent, we also open ourselves to transformation. Every difficulty, when faced with awareness, offers a lesson, a hidden wisdom that can lead us toward personal growth and self-discovery. We learn patience, humility, and empathy for others who also face their own battles. In embracing impermanence, we find the courage to let go of what no longer serves us and make space for what's yet to come. By doing so, we deepen our resilience, becoming like bamboo, strong, flexible, and grounded. So let us not cling to fleeting moments of either joy or sorrow, but allow each to pass like clouds across the sky. In doing this, we nurture a steady, enduring peace within, even in the face of life's inevitable storms. 2. Sow good causes. Let's take a moment to explore the profound wisdom behind sowing good causes, a teaching that guides us on how to navigate hardship and transform it into an opportunity for growth and positive change. At the heart of Buddhism lies the principle of cause and effect, or karma, a timeless reminder that every action we take, every word we say, and even every thought we entertain carries consequences. Our lives, with all their joys and sorrows, are shaped by these ripples of karma. In times of difficulty, it's tempting to feel weighed down by our suffering, questioning, "Why me?" or "Why now?" Buddhism encourages us not to look at hardship as punishment, but as an opportunity, a precious moment to reset the cycle by sowing new, positive causes. As the Buddha said, "Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, people cannot live without a spiritual life," which encourages us to look beyond immediate challenges and consider how our actions today will impact not just this life, but potentially future lives as well. By consciously sowing good causes, we lay a foundation of goodness that reverberates far beyond our immediate surroundings and time. So, what does it mean to sow good causes? At its core, it means to live intentionally, choosing kindness, generosity, and compassion even when circumstances seem tough. Adversity may indeed stem from past actions, whether in this life or a previous one, but it's important to understand that karma isn't about punishment. It's simply a mirror reflecting back what has been planted. Difficulties can arise to show us the seeds of the past, seeds we may have sown knowingly or unknowingly, and instead of blaming ourselves or feeling trapped, Buddhism teaches us to see each challenge as a chance to plant something new, something better. Think of it as a spiritual garden where each thought, action, or word is like a seed that grows into the conditions of our lives. As the Dalai Lama says, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." This timeless advice reminds us that compassion is a path both for ourselves and others, a path that brings light even in the darkest of times. When faced with adversity, start by asking yourself, what can I do right now to bring a little more goodness into the world? Sometimes this might mean a small act of kindness, like helping a friend or lending an ear to someone in need. Other times, it's as simple as showing patience or refraining from harsh words. These may seem like tiny gestures, but in the grand scheme of karma, they are powerful seeds. Consider the story of Angulimala, a bandit in Buddha's time who had committed terrible acts. When he encountered the Buddha, rather than condemning him, the Buddha guided him towards compassion and kindness, helping him transform his karma through good deeds and sincere repentance. This story demonstrates that no matter how dark our past, there's always the opportunity to change by sowing new causes rooted in kindness and understanding. Reflecting on this, can you think of a moment in your life when you transformed a tough experience into something meaningful through a compassionate act? How did it feel to choose kindness, even when it wasn't easy? Each time we make the effort to do good, we're actively working to balance out the past and change the course of our future. It's like a well of positivity that, with enough drops, can overflow and wash away much of the pain or sorrow we've previously felt. This isn't to say that life will instantly change. Buddhism teaches us patience and perseverance. But gradually, like the slow growth of a tree, good actions create conditions for peace and resilience to blossom within us. Another well-loved teaching in Buddhism: thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened, reminds us that our capacity to do good is boundless. The more we give, the more we nurture our inner light and inspire others along the way. One of the most transformative practices we can adopt is dedicating ourselves to service, big or small, as a way to continually plant these seeds of goodness. This doesn't mean you need to change the world overnight or take on immense challenges. Sometimes sowing good causes starts with the simplest actions. Smile at a stranger, forgive someone who has wronged you, or share what little you have with someone in need. Remember, these actions build a momentum that not only lightens the burdens of others, but also enriches our own lives with meaning. When we give from the heart, our own struggles feel lighter and our perspectives shift. Have you ever noticed how helping someone in need brings you a sense of fulfillment? It's not just a fleeting happiness, it's the enduring peace of knowing that we're contributing positively to the world, regardless of our own challenges. Moreover, sowing good causes allows us to face our own pain with compassion. It shifts our mindset from being absorbed in our own suffering to seeing a larger picture, one where every person's well-being matters. When we choose to help others, we break free from the isolation that suffering often brings. In Buddhism, there's a deep understanding that we are all interconnected. Your happiness, my happiness, they are intertwined. Thich Nhat Hanh, a renowned Buddhist monk, once said, "Compassion is a verb, a reminder that we are called to actively engage in kindness, especially in challenging times." And as we begin to act from this place of compassion, we might ask ourselves, how might my actions today create peace for myself and those around me? In the end, sowing good causes is about resilience. It's about knowing that even if life presents us with difficulties, we can respond with integrity, patience, and kindness. This shift may not change external circumstances overnight, but it changes us from within. We become more rooted, more grounded, and ultimately more free. So, next time life seems overwhelming, remember that you have the power to plant something new. What seeds of kindness, compassion, and generosity will you choose to sow today? In each moment, with each choice, you are writing a new chapter for yourself and the world around you. A chapter filled with peace, purpose, and endless possibilities. 3. Befriend yourself. Embracing adversity often feels like stepping into a storm we wish to avoid, yet Buddhist wisdom teaches that facing and befriending ourselves in these moments is the true path to resilience. When life presents us with challenges, our instinct might be to judge ourselves harshly, viewing our missteps or failures as personal flaws. However, Buddhism invites us to soften our perspective, to practice kindness towards ourselves, just as we would extend it to a dear friend. By shifting our internal narrative, we learn to see adversity not as a burden or as a mark of failure, but as an opportunity for growth, a chance to strengthen our spirit by embracing the fullness of who we are, imperfections and all. In the words of the Buddha, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. This wisdom encourages us to move away from self-blame and harsh judgment, choosing instead to nurture compassion and understanding in our hearts, especially when times are tough. Imagine each difficulty as a teacher in disguise, inviting us to reflect, adapt, and evolve. Just as a strong oak grows deep roots during a storm, we too can cultivate inner resilience by facing hardships with patience and empathy. Often, society conditions us to suppress vulnerability, to put on a brave face, and to ignore our inner pain. But true strength does not come from denial or perfection. It comes from the courage to see ourselves fully, to understand our fears, and to address our self-doubt with compassion rather than criticism. This approach transforms adversity into a mirror through which we can understand our inner landscape more clearly, and from this understanding, profound self-acceptance can emerge. When we begin to treat ourselves with compassion, we align with the Buddhist principle of metta, or loving kindness, which teaches that a heart at peace with itself can meet the world with gentleness and balance. In modern life, where constant achievement and productivity often overshadow well-being, it's easy to lose touch with this inner kindness. We may push ourselves relentlessly, believing that our worth is tied to external success. But when adversity strikes, whether through personal loss, career setbacks, or relationship challenges, these experiences remind us of the impermanence of all things, a fundamental Buddhist teaching that points to the transient nature of both joys and sorrows. Understanding this impermanence helps us detach from the need for perfection and opens a space for acceptance. In the words of Lao Tzu, "He who knows others is wise, he who knows himself is enlightened." This wisdom emphasizes that by turning inward with acceptance, we cultivate a calm center that is less shaken by life's unpredictable waves. When we make befriending ourselves a habit, we start to experience life from a place of wholeness. Instead of resisting our own pain or pretending it doesn't exist, we acknowledge it as part of the human experience. This self-acceptance creates a stable foundation within us, allowing us to approach others and the world from a place of authenticity and openness. In challenging times, practicing self-compassion becomes a revolutionary act, one that allows us to grow not despite adversity, but because of it. By seeing each struggle as a step on the path toward deeper understanding, we no longer view ourselves as broken or inadequate, but as beings in the process of becoming more whole. This mindset shift, rooted in the wisdom of Buddhism, can be profoundly liberating. When we face ourselves honestly and embrace our vulnerabilities, we develop the strength to handle life's uncertainties with grace. Befriending ourselves in difficult times is not only about surviving, but thriving in the face of adversity. It means nurturing a mindset that seeks wisdom and insight from every experience, regardless of how it appears on the surface. As the Dalai Lama reminds us, when we meet real tragedy in life, we can react in two ways, either by losing hope and falling into self-destructive habits, or by using the challenge to find our inner strength. In essence, self-compassion empowers us to choose the latter, turning adversity into a pathway to inner strength and resilience. When we treat ourselves with patience and kindness, we build a supportive relationship within that steadies us through life's storms. This compassionate approach not only heals us, but also radiates outward, enabling us to contribute positively to others and our communities. In today's fast-paced, often demanding world, learning to befriend ourselves can feel counterintuitive, yet it is perhaps the most essential practice for lasting peace. As we navigate through the ups and downs, let's remember that befriending ourselves isn't about dismissing our goals or ambitions, but about approaching our journey with a heart full of patience and an understanding that we are enough as we are. When we view adversity as a natural part of life and respond with kindness, we transcend the cycle of self-blame and judgment, moving instead towards a grounded, balanced state of being. Through this inner friendship, we find the courage to face life's challenges with resilience, knowing that every difficulty is a stepping stone on the path to wisdom, self-love, and true inner peace. If you've watched this far, you're already opening your heart to the wisdom of overcoming life's challenges with resilience and grace. Comment below with embracing adversity to affirm your commitment to facing tough times with a peaceful mind. Stay with us until the end. There's more insight ahead to help you find strength, peace, and clarity in the midst of life's storms. 4. Focus on the present. In life, we often find ourselves caught up in worries about the future or regrets from the past, feeling as though we're stuck in a cycle of anxiety, fear, and unease. Buddhism offers us a way out of this loop through a gentle yet profound practice, focusing on the present. In Buddhist thought, the present moment is not just a fleeting point in time, it's the only moment in which life truly unfolds. Our past may haunt us, and our future may fill us with doubt, but right now, here, in this very moment, we have the power to shape our experience. But how do we actually live in the present? Through practices like meditation, mindful breathing, or simply being fully attentive to whatever we're doing, we can bring our wandering mind back to the here and now. You might think, how does focusing on my breath or noticing my surroundings change anything about my challenges? But this focus anchors you, like a ship finding steady ground amidst rough waters. When you cultivate the habit of returning to the present, you gain clarity and a calm center, even when life seems chaotic around you. Let me share a story that reflects the power of present-focused awareness. One day, a student came to ask the Zen master, "I am tormented by anxieties about the future and regrets about the past. I can't focus on my life in the present. What should I do?" The Zen master smiled, invited the student to sit down and said, "Take this cup and fill it with water." The student did as instructed, and the cup quickly filled up. The master continued, "Keep pouring water." The student was surprised, but complied, and soon the water began to overflow, wetting his hands. The master gently remarked, "This is how your mind is working. When you constantly fill it with thoughts of the past and worries about the future, there is no room left for peace in the present." The master paused. "But if you set the cup down, simply look at it, and see it as it is, right here and now, you'll feel lighter and more at ease." This story illustrates that peace comes when we let go of our anxieties and attachments. Every breath, every moment lived fully in the present, brings us serenity and freedom. So here's the question: can you release the burdens of the past and the future to fully embrace the present moment? We can practice this in our everyday lives. Think about the small moments in your daily routine: drinking a warm cup of tea, taking a short walk, listening to a friend. These moments are precious when you give them your full attention. The more you practice focusing on the present, the more you'll find that life's troubles seem a little less heavy. When we stop trying to control what has already happened or worrying about what might come next, we're free to meet life as it is, imperfect yet beautiful, unpredictable yet full of potential. So here's a question. When was the last time you truly gave your full attention to this moment? Not thinking about tomorrow's tasks or yesterday's regrets, but just experiencing now. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or forgetting our dreams. It means understanding that only by being present can we actually influence the future. Take a deep breath now. Notice how it feels to inhale and exhale. This is where life is, right here, right now. Let's hold on to this awareness and carry it with us through our days, knowing that each present moment embraced is a small step toward a more peaceful, resilient self. In challenging times, remember, peace and clarity come not from controlling the storm, but from finding stillness within it. B5. 5. Practice letting go. In the journey of life, we often hold on to things tightly, our plans, our loved ones, our possessions, even our sense of who we are. But, as Buddhism wisely reminds us, suffering often arises not from the events themselves, but from our resistance to them, from our unwillingness to let go. This attachment, which Buddha identified as a root cause of suffering, can cause immense pain, especially when life doesn't unfold the way we hoped. We cling to ideas of how things should be, grasp onto relationships or material comforts, and develop expectations that bind us. However, letting go is not about dismissing these things or becoming cold-hearted. Rather, it's about freeing ourselves from the emotional weight of constantly needing everything to stay the same. The root of suffering is attachment, said the Buddha. And in understanding this, we can begin to unburden ourselves. Letting go allows us to experience a certain lightness, a freedom from the pressures we unknowingly impose upon ourselves by our constant need to control. Think of a time when you felt disappointed because something didn't go as planned. Maybe it was a missed opportunity or a friendship that faded away. How did that feel? The heartache, frustration, and stress that come from these moments often stem from our attachment to specific outcomes or people. We resist the natural flow of change, fighting to keep things as they are or wishing they were different. But, as Buddha taught, nothing is permanent. Everything is subject to change. When we embrace this understanding, we learn to appreciate each experience for what it is without clinging or resisting. When we can see each situation as transient, both the joyful and the challenging, we gain a greater capacity for peace because we understand that this too shall pass. The practice of letting go is a way to nurture our inner resilience, a way to live fully in each moment without being weighed down by worries about the past or fears about the future. Letting go also means releasing our attachment to who we think we are. We build our identities around our careers, relationships, and achievements, but all these external markers are fluid and ever-changing. If we define ourselves by these labels, we will feel lost whenever circumstances shift. By letting go of rigid ideas about ourselves, we open up to a broader, more authentic self-understanding. Instead of saying, "I am my success," or "I am my relationships," we can ask, who am I beyond these roles? The Buddha urged us to look within, to discover that our true essence is not tied to any one aspect of our lives. This self-awareness enables us to approach life with a kind of gentle confidence, knowing that even if things change, we can remain grounded. But how do we begin to let go, especially in moments of pain or disappointment? Start by observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Recognize when you're clinging to an outcome or holding on to resentment. Ask yourself, is this attachment serving me, or is it causing me more pain? By becoming aware of these patterns, we can slowly loosen our grip, choosing instead to let life flow as it will. This doesn't mean we stop caring or become passive. Rather, we begin to see that true freedom lies in trusting the natural rhythm of things, understanding that we are part of a larger cycle that includes both gain and loss, joy and sorrow. As Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk, said, "People have a hard time letting go of their suffering. Out of a fear of the unknown, they prefer suffering that is familiar." This awareness, though challenging, is transformative, as it allows us to step out of habitual patterns and make room for fresh perspectives and experiences. So, consider this. What is it in your life that you are holding on to? Perhaps it's a painful memory, a grudge, or a vision of how things should be. Imagine how much lighter you would feel if you could release that burden, if you could simply let things be as they are without trying to control every outcome. This practice of letting go is not a one-time decision, but an ongoing process, a skill that develops over time. Every day offers new chances to practice, from small irritations to major life changes. Each time we release our need for control, we cultivate a sense of inner peace that stays with us, even in difficult times. The power of letting go lies in its ability to transform us, to help us become more adaptable, resilient, and compassionate. It helps us connect with a deeper truth, that the only constant in life is change. When we embrace this truth, we become better equipped to face life's uncertainties with an open heart and a calm mind. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, what can I release in this moment? What am I holding on to that is no longer serving me? This question may reveal attachments that you didn't even realize you had, and in that awareness, you will find the seeds of freedom. Embrace the wisdom of letting go, and you may discover a profound peace that lies beyond attachment, a peace that allows you to face each moment with grace and equanimity. Letting go is, in the end, an act of compassion. Compassion for yourself, as you free yourself from unnecessary suffering, and compassion for others, as you allow them to be who they are, without imposing your expectations. Through letting go, we connect more deeply with the present, experiencing each moment fully without the distractions of regret or fear. This openness invites joy, resilience, and a profound sense of peace into our lives. As Buddha beautifully put it, you only lose what you cling to. So let us ask ourselves, what are we ready to release today to live a life of greater freedom and ease? In this question lies the doorway to true liberation. 6. Learning lessons from difficulties. Difficulties are often seen as unwelcome guests, obstacles that disrupt our lives and throw us off balance. Yet within these very challenges lie profound lessons waiting to be discovered. In Buddhism, adversity is not an unfortunate occurrence, but an opportunity to learn, grow, and awaken to deeper aspects of ourselves. Every experience, no matter how challenging, holds the potential to teach us something vital about life, ourselves, or our connection with others. When we encounter hardship, it often highlights areas of our lives that may need attention or re-evaluation. Perhaps we are too attached to certain beliefs or stuck in habits that no longer serve us. As Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh wisely said, "No mud, no lotus." Just as the beautiful lotus flower rises out of the muddy water, we too can find clarity and strength amid our struggles. Difficult times encourage us to examine how we live, think, and interact with the world, urging us to reflect on whether our current path aligns with our true values and purpose. Facing adversity requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing challenges as punishments or signs of failure, we can see them as gifts that reveal where we might be falling short or holding on to illusions. For example, if a relationship falls apart, it may be an invitation to reflect on our patterns within that relationship. Were we truly present, or were we clinging to expectations that blinded us to reality? Similarly, if we face financial setbacks, this can prompt us to question our relationship with material wealth and whether our sense of self-worth is tied to external success. Through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, every hardship can serve as a mirror, reflecting back to us aspects of ourselves we might prefer to avoid, yet are essential to confront if we wish to grow. The Buddha taught that pain is inevitable, suffering is optional, meaning that while difficult situations arise, we have the choice in how we respond to them. By embracing adversity instead of resisting it, we open ourselves to the possibility of genuine transformation and inner freedom. In our modern, fast-paced world, we are conditioned to seek comfort and avoid discomfort at all costs. Advertisements, social media, and the culture of instant gratification all reinforce the belief that happiness comes from external pleasures and avoiding pain. However, this pursuit of constant ease can make us less resilient and less able to cope with life's inevitable ups and downs. When we learn to welcome hardship as part of our journey, we cultivate resilience and patience. This doesn't mean we ignore our struggles or pretend they don't hurt. Instead, we approach them with a sense of curiosity, asking, "What can I learn from this experience?" By facing our challenges head-on, we gradually build inner strength and learn to remain calm and centered, even in turbulent times. Through adversity, we are often reminded of the impermanence of all things, a core teaching in Buddhism. Life is in constant flux, and clinging to any one state or outcome only brings suffering. Accepting that everything is temporary allows us to embrace change with a more open heart. When we let go of rigid expectations and allow life to unfold naturally, we find that difficulties do not last forever. They come and go, like passing storms. Just as we do not expect a storm to linger indefinitely, we can trust that our current hardships will eventually pass, leaving us stronger and wiser. The Japanese have a saying, "Fall 7 times, stand up 8. This resilience is at the heart of Buddhist teachings, reminding us that each time we get up after a fall, we emerge with greater wisdom and compassion. Adversity also teaches us empathy and compassion, not only for ourselves, but for others who are struggling. When we face hardship, we begin to understand the suffering of others on a deeper level, fostering a sense of shared humanity. Instead of judging others or feeling isolated in our pain, we learn to see that everyone carries their own burdens. The Dalai Lama once said, "Compassion and tolerance are not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength." As we become more compassionate towards others, we cultivate a sense of connection and belonging, realizing that we are all part of the same human family. This shift in perspective brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment that goes beyond individual achievement. In navigating adversity, we practice mindfulness, observing our emotions and thoughts without judgment. This awareness allows us to act with intention rather than react impulsively. For instance, if we face a stressful situation at work, instead of lashing out or retreating into negativity, mindfulness helps us pause and choose a response that aligns with our values. Practicing mindfulness in difficult times strengthens our ability to remain present, even in discomfort, and develops qualities such as patience, clarity, and wisdom. Over time, this mindful approach becomes a powerful tool, enabling us to handle future challenges with greater ease and grace. Ultimately, embracing adversity teaches us to trust ourselves and the process of life. When we come out on the other side of a challenge, we realize that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. The courage to face our fears and insecurities brings an inner confidence that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. This sense of self-trust is deeply liberating as it frees us from the need for external validation. By learning from our struggles and turning them into stepping stones, we build a foundation of resilience and inner peace that sustains us no matter what life brings. As we grow through adversity, we also learn to live with gratitude, appreciating the simple moments of peace and joy that life offers. In the words of Buddha, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." In every difficulty lies the seed of growth and self-discovery. When we choose to see our struggles as teachers rather than burdens, we open ourselves to a life of continuous learning and profound fulfillment. Challenges may bend us, but they do not break us. Instead, they help us grow deeper roots, just like a tree that stands tall and resilient through the harshest storms. By embracing adversity with a compassionate heart and a curious mind, we transform pain into wisdom and emerge with a more profound understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Let your hardships refine you, not define you, and remember that within each moment of struggle lies the potential for awakening to a fuller, richer life. By staying with us, you're already taking the first steps toward transforming adversity into growth. Comment "Peace in Adversity" to affirm your commitment to facing challenges with a mindful heart. Don't miss out. There's still valuable wisdom ahead to help you find calm and resilience in life's toughest moments. 7. Find joy in simplicity. When life challenges us and we feel overwhelmed, finding peace and comfort may seem like a distant goal. But Buddhist wisdom teaches us that in even the smallest moments, there exists a quiet, powerful joy that can help us find peace within ourselves, no matter the storm outside. This is the art of embracing simplicity. When you think about it, how often do we overlook the beauty in ordinary things? Perhaps it's the warmth of a cup of tea in your hands, a moment shared with a friend, or the comfort of a gentle breeze on your face. These simple experiences are often taken for granted, yet they hold the potential to connect us to a deep sense of gratitude and peace, even during difficult times. When we practice finding joy in simplicity, we're aligning with the Buddhist practice of mindfulness, seeing each moment for what it truly is without getting caught in the chaos of our worries and desires. Thich Nhat Hanh, a revered Buddhist teacher, once said, "Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy." Consider this for a moment. If a small act, like smiling, can bring joy, imagine what could happen if we took the time to savor each simple moment of our day, finding happiness in what we already have instead of yearning for what we think we lack. Could it be that peace is much closer than we believe? Many people think that happiness lies in achieving great things, reaching impressive goals, or acquiring more possessions, but this is often an illusion. In Buddhism, it's taught that attachment to material things and constant striving can actually lead to suffering, because the satisfaction they bring is often short-lived. Instead, true happiness can be found in appreciating life as it is, with all its ordinary and seemingly insignificant moments. When we learn to value these moments, we see that they are not insignificant at all. They are the foundation of our well-being. The Buddha himself taught, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Reflecting on these words, ask yourself, are there simple joys in your life that you overlook? What if the comfort you seek is already present, just waiting to be noticed? Imagine your life as a stream flowing gently, sometimes encountering rocks and obstacles along the way. When you pause to appreciate a simple joy, It's like stepping out of the rushing current, allowing yourself to sit by the stream's edge and observe it with gratitude. This practice of stepping back can ground us, keeping us from being swept away by negative thoughts or turbulent emotions. In moments of stress or despair, try returning to this sense of simplicity by focusing on your breath, a single sound, or a humble gesture of kindness. These small practices are like anchors, keeping us steady amidst life's unpredictability. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki often reminded his students, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few." When we approach life with a beginner's mind, open and curious, we begin to notice the small miracles around us, things we might otherwise miss if we were lost in worry or frustration. So, how can you bring this practice of finding joy and simplicity into your life? Start by slowing down and becoming fully present, even if it's just for a few moments each day. The next time you drink your tea or coffee, let yourself truly taste it. Experience its warmth and flavor with your full attention. When you talk with a friend, listen to them without distraction, really allowing yourself to be with them in that moment. When you wake up in the morning, pause to notice the way the sunlight filters through your window, or the sounds of birds outside. These are the moments where life's essence lies, not in the big dramatic events we often chase after. The ancient Buddhist text, the Dhammapada, teaches that better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. This reminds us that our lives can be full and meaningful without grand achievements, simply by embracing the present with gratitude and compassion. In practicing this, we can begin to train our minds to focus less on the difficulties and more on the subtle joys that are always present. And here's the beauty of it. Over time, we may realize that our happiness does not rely on outside circumstances, but can be found in our approach to each moment. Can you think of a time when you felt at peace simply because you allowed yourself to enjoy something small and genuine? If we can bring this awareness to our everyday lives, not only do we find comfort in hard times, but we also develop resilience, cultivating a heart that can remain open and grateful no matter what comes our way. This is the gift of simplicity, a gentle but profound path to peace, and it's available to each of us if we choose to see it. 8. Cultivating mindfulness in daily life. In the midst of our busy lives, it's easy to feel swept away by endless tasks, worries, and distractions. Yet in Buddhism, mindfulness, being fully present in each moment, is a powerful practice that grounds us, helping us to see life more clearly and experience peace regardless of external circumstances. Practicing mindfulness doesn't require us to change our surroundings. Instead, it's about shifting how we perceive and interact with each moment. The simplest way to cultivate mindfulness is to start with the breath. Our breath is always with us, a natural anchor to bring us back to the present whenever we feel overwhelmed or distracted. In moments of stress or worry, try to pause and take a few deep breaths, focusing on each inhale and exhale. Feel the air entering and leaving your body, and notice how even a few mindful breaths can help calm the mind and center you. The Buddha taught, "Be where you are, otherwise you will miss your life." By focusing on your breath, you allow yourself to be fully here, in this moment, instead of being carried away by thoughts of the past or worries about the future. Mindfulness doesn't require special meditation sessions or a quiet room. It can be practiced during any activity. When you're washing dishes, for example, feel the water running over your hands, notice the scent of the soap, and observe each movement as you clean. If you're eating, slow down to taste each bite, appreciating the flavors and textures. These moments may seem small, yet they're powerful opportunities to connect deeply with life as it unfolds. Instead of rushing through tasks with the mind elsewhere, bring awareness to what you're doing. This simple shift not only enhances your focus, but also brings a sense of joy and contentment to routine activities. One of the main purposes of mindfulness is to become more aware of our thoughts without getting lost in them. Throughout the day, notice when your mind wanders, perhaps to worries, regrets, or judgments. Instead of following these thoughts, simply observe them and let them go, like watching clouds pass through the sky. Mindfulness helps us understand that we are not our thoughts, we are the observer of them. This perspective brings a sense of freedom, allowing us to step back from negative thoughts or stress. As the Buddha said, your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Practicing mindfulness strengthens our awareness, giving us the power to choose which thoughts to focus on and which to release. Mindfulness also extends to how we connect with others. Often, in conversations, our minds drift, or we think about what we want to say next, instead of truly listening. Practicing mindful listening means being fully present with the person in front of us, listening not just to their words, but also to the emotions and intentions behind them. When you listen mindfully, you create a space of understanding and respect. This simple act can deepen your relationships as people feel truly heard and valued. In Buddhism, mindfulness of speech and listening is seen as a powerful way to build compassion and harmony within our communities. Before you go to sleep, take a few moments to reflect on your day with mindfulness. Recall the events without judgment, observing both the positive moments and the challenges. Acknowledge any areas where you may have been distracted or reactive, and appreciate the times you were fully present. This reflection helps us become more aware of our habits, allowing us to approach the next day with greater intention. End your reflection by expressing gratitude for the day's experiences, however small. This practice cultivates a positive, peaceful mindset and prepares you for restful sleep. In practicing mindfulness in these small ways, we bring peace and clarity into our daily lives, turning ordinary moments into pathways to a more fulfilling life. As Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully put it, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Through mindfulness, we learn to meet each moment with awareness and kindness, discovering that peace is always available within us, no matter where we are. 9. Cultivating patience and acceptance. In the journey of life, we often encounter delays, obstacles, and moments of frustration. We may wish for things to happen faster or for situations to resolve smoothly, yet reality often unfolds at its own pace, indifferent to our desires. In Buddhism, patience and acceptance are seen as powerful practices that help us find peace amidst life's inevitable challenges. These qualities allow us to embrace each moment as it is, without struggling against it, and help us build resilience, calmness, and a deep sense of inner freedom. Patience is more than just waiting. It is an active state of calm endurance, a gentle strength that allows us to persevere without becoming discouraged. When we practice patience, we are learning to be fully present, allowing things to unfold naturally rather than forcing them. This openness lets us face each situation, no matter how challenging, with a balanced mind and an open heart. The Buddha taught, "Patience is the highest virtue." This virtue teaches us that life is a process, not an end point, and that by cultivating patience, we learn to experience each step of the journey with grace and equanimity. Acceptance is a practice of releasing our attachment to how we think things should be and embracing how they actually are. This doesn't mean we don't care about changing difficult situations, but rather that we approach them without resistance. Acceptance allows us to see reality more clearly, without the cloud of frustration or disappointment. When we accept life as it is, we free ourselves from the stress that comes from wishing things were different. This doesn't make us passive. Instead, it empowers us to act from a place of peace rather than desperation or frustration. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, "People suffer because they are caught in their views. As soon as we release those views, we are free, and we don't suffer anymore." In our fast-paced world, practicing patience can be challenging. However, we can start with small moments, waiting in line, dealing with a slow internet connection, or listening to someone without interrupting. Instead of reacting with impatience, try taking a few deep breaths, observing your feelings without judgment, and allowing the moment to unfold without resistance. These small acts of patience help train our minds to be less reactive and more at ease. Over time, we learn to extend this patience to more significant challenges, building a foundation of inner peace that isn't easily disturbed. One of the most challenging forms of acceptance is self-acceptance. Often, we hold ourselves to high standards and become frustrated when we fall short. Practicing patience and acceptance toward ourselves means recognizing our imperfections and treating ourselves with the same compassion we would extend to others. This kindness allows us to grow without harsh self-criticism and to accept that mistakes and setbacks are part of the learning process. As the Buddha said, "You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." By embracing ourselves as we are, we create a peaceful inner environment that supports our growth and well-being. Patience and acceptance also teach us to let go of control, understanding that life is filled with uncertainties. Often, we try to control outcomes, believing that doing so will bring us happiness. However, the more we try to control every aspect of life, the more we become entangled in stress and anxiety. When we let go of this need for control, we open ourselves to the natural flow of life, trusting that each moment has something to teach us. This surrender brings a profound sense of freedom and lightness, as we are no longer weighed down by the constant need to control every situation. In practicing patience and acceptance, we gradually cultivate a calm, resilient spirit that can face life's challenges without being overwhelmed. This inner peace isn't dependent on external circumstances, but grows from within, allowing us to navigate life's storms with grace. Every time we choose patience over frustration and acceptance over resistance, we strengthen our inner peace. These qualities become part of our character, helping us to meet life's ups and downs with wisdom and balance. In closing, cultivating patience and acceptance helps us to align with the natural flow of life, finding peace in the present moment. As Buddhist wisdom reminds us, patience leads to nirvana. Through patience and acceptance, we open ourselves to the profound beauty of life as it is, embracing each experience with compassion and equanimity. Thank you for watching today's episode on the Journey of Wisdom. We hope you found inspiration in the simple yet powerful teachings about how a mindful practice using salt and vinegar can shift our energy, helping us release negativity and open to a renewed flow of positivity and luck. In Buddhism, luck isn't something random or out of reach. It's deeply intertwined with our mindset, our intentions, and the actions we take each day. When we approach life with awareness, even small rituals can become meaningful ways to transform our experiences, cultivate inner peace, and align ourselves with greater harmony. As we reflect on today's wisdom, remember that the power to influence our lives lies within each of us. Just as Buddha taught, our thoughts shape our reality, and by approaching life with compassion, mindfulness, and gratitude, we can find peace even in difficult times. In using everyday items like salt and vinegar mindfully, we remind ourselves that change doesn't require anything grand or unreachable. Sometimes it's the small acts of intention that hold the greatest power to help us heal, grow, and invite blessings into our lives. If you felt connected to today's message and want to continue exploring these teachings, we invite you to support us by liking this video, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing to The Journey of Wisdom. Each new subscriber strengthens our community, and together we can spread more peace and understanding into the world. Remember to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos, where we'll delve deeper into Buddhist philosophy and life-changing practices. Thank you for being here with us, and until next time, may your journey be filled with wisdom, peace, and purpose.